Alright guys, today's video is starting a little bit different than usual. First of all, it's 6:30 p.m. and I'm just starting my video now. Okay, now you might be thinking, what? You usually start way earlier than that. Yes I do, but today is a bit of a different day. Also, if you're wondering why I have this, it's because I saw it, it's new, it's 0 sugar, so I had to, well, test it out. Surprisingly, almost the same as any other monster. Why is today gonna be different? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today I had a brutal realization in the morning, and well, I figured out that I have to replan my entire 6-month transformation journey. That is also why I spent the entire morning preparing some stuff, decluttering and reorganizing my entire apartment. And well, now I'm headed to the gym. Even though it's rest day, I am gonna go to the sauna to have a little bit of a recovery. And after that, it's time for some serious planning. I'll take you along and go into details. Stay tuned for that. Not sure yet if I'm gonna be able to record in the sauna. If not, then I'll just see you back in the car after I'm done. Alright, I'm on my way home. I was only in the sauna for probably like 10 minutes. A little bit too many people there, so yeah, I don't know. I just left, but I did get a little bit of relaxation, and I did go and take a cold shower, so it was okay. Enough to break the monotony of the day. And now I'm headed home, but I also think I'm gonna go for a short walk. It does look like it's gonna rain pretty soon, but honestly, don't care. Right, so before I get home and start planning, I just wanna talk about my realization that I had today. It was a very important one because, well, I figured out that I have been productively procrastinating. Now, what that means is doing something that feels productive in order for you to subconsciously avoid the most important tasks because they represent the biggest amount of stress and effort. And your brain is wired in such a stupid way that is trying to prevent you from actually doing hard stuff, hard things. And in my opinion, that's just ridiculous, dude. So, because I realized that, now I can actually counter that fucking attempt from my stupid brain that is trying to hold me down. I'm not gonna let them. So, and in my case, I have been productively procrastinating by creating YouTube content instead of focusing on the NSAI project. And now, just by figuring that out, I can see through the trap that my brain is subconsciously just making me fall into, and I can work against that, and I can fix it. Also, if the video is a bit laggy, I'm sorry. My phone is literally running out of space, and whenever I press that record button, it just starts lagging. I need to clear it a bit. Today it's time to plan everything a bit differently and structure my days in a way that I haven't structured them yet. And because I have spent the last month and a half doing things that pushed me out of my comfort zone, I think I have built enough discipline to maybe take it to the next level and step up my game a little bit, because, well, soon it's gonna be 2 months and I have nothing to show for yet. And also, I think I trust you guys enough at this point to finally define the end goal of my 6-month transformation. I gotta be honest, when I started this, I honestly didn't really know myself what I was aiming for, but now kind of the whole picture came together, and now let's say I know at least 90% of what I'm aiming for. So when I come back home, I'll make a concrete plan and openly talk about all my goals and what I want to achieve by the end of the 6-month journey. And it's gonna be a bit of a different video today, not so much action. I think it's gonna be very useful for me and you, if you know how to extract some useful tips, insights, information from this video and from my personal struggles, I guess, because I'm willing to bet that most of us are struggling with the same things. Did you guys hear that? You guys definitely heard that. I guess the storm is coming, right? Anyway, I hope you guys find value in my videos, and I genuinely hope that I can offer you some motivation and inspiration so you also start improving your lives. Now, just a few quick final words before I go and turn back. This is not easy. This is not easy at all, especially if you're not used to it. Most of the time I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but that's the whole point. That is how you grow. This angle is way better. Anyway, if you guys want, you can follow along with this video. Try to maybe do the same things that I'm doing, and we can, well, plan our future together, because I feel like if you have things planned out, it's way easier to follow through. So let me get home and then we'll start planning. Alright, so I genuinely believe that whatever you want, you can have. If you set your mind to something, you can definitely achieve it. You just have to figure out how. And that is where I'm at right now. Right. I know the lighting ain't the best. This is where I want to be right now. What I'm doing right now is just calming down. Slow everything down. And then I'm taking a moment to reflect on my choices, on my current trajectory, on my goals, on my future, just envisioning everything. Alright guys, it's 11 p.m. and well, at first I was gonna sit down with you and plan everything together with you, but then everything kind of turned out into a more of a me needing some private time, and while just sitting in silence, just planning, just thinking, spending time alone in my head. So I tried to record, but when I pressed the record button, my mindset kind of changed, and well, I couldn't really think as productively as I could when I didn't record. So I guess I just want to take you through what I have done, so then you can maybe replicate that. At first, I just sat on a balcony and literally just reflected on my life. I literally just spent time thinking about my current trajectory, my goals, my ambitions, my visions, all of that. And then I went inside, laid down, and started envisioning my dream life and my dream self. And then I asked myself, what would it take for me to be the man that I want to be? What would it take for me to have the life that I want to have? And then I wrote down the answers, and then I reverse engineered it, which means I took the answers, I took the final goals and the final visions, and I dissected them into actionable steps. And once I had the answers, I knew exactly what I need to do. You basically just take your end form and ask yourself, what do you need in order to become that person? And then you take the answers and then you try to just act accordingly every single day. So that's my take on everything.